welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. I am Umi Hsu. I'm the Director of Content Strategy here at the One Archives Foundation. This is a very special morning. We are celebrating the launch of the What Does a COVID-19 Doula Do? Zine, and the community that has helped to contribute and support the Zine effort today. So this morning, I'm here with Kat. Kat is one of the curators of Metanoia, an exhibition that we have had up at the One Gallery since January. And in the last month or so, we had to close the gallery, and I reached out to the exhibition curators to see if they would be interested in doing something in response to the pandemic. And they all jumped in and said yes. So today we're taking a moment to do some grounding and to share some tips on staying calm in this period. So Kat will be starting with a grounding exercise for us.
Awesome. Thank you, Umi, and thank you again all for joining us. So in starting grounding, we're just going to take in the space that we're in. We could be in our bedroom, living room, bathroom, outside on the porch, wherever we are. We're just going to take a minute to just be present in whatever space we're in. We might hear some sounds from outside. Could be birds chirping, could be sirens, voices. We could hear things inside, refrigerator, heater, air conditioning. Just going to take a minute to just notice what's happening inside the space with sound. Could even be the sound of your own breath. And then we're just going to do one deep breath in. And then out. And feel ourselves relaxing into the moment. And we're just going to do a scan, starting at our feet, toes, heels, ankles, all the way up through the knees, thighs, hips, sit bone, abdomen, gut, chest, up to the heart, up through the shoulders, the arms, elbows, hands, and the tips of our fingers. Then up our neck, jawline, mouth, nose, eyes, the top of the forehead. And just breathe into that. Just notice if there's any kind of thing that's showing up there. Were there any points of tension in the body scan? And if so, that's okay. We don't have to do anything with that, just noticing. And if there isn't anything, we don't need to put anything in there that doesn't need to be. We're just noticing. And with that, we're going to do another deep breath in. And then out. In this moment, there could be things coming up for you. Whatever it is, just breathe into it. And then we want to give thanks for this moment, for ourselves, for showing up here, deciding to be together in this virtual moment. The connection and grounding and breathing that we're doing emanates out from our being all around. We celebrate community. We honor wherever we are in the moment. And throughout the day, tomorrow, a few weeks from now, know that whatever this space is, this grounding space is always available whenever you need it, however you need to show up to it. It's always there. And so at a point where we feel ready, we can, again, notice the sounds around us. For me, it's my refrigerator, the plane just going around outside, the birds, the siren. But feel yourself in the physical space or wherever you're in. You can move around in your seat a little bit to recognize the body that you're in. And when you're ready, just come back into this moment and continue on together.
Thank you so much, Kat.
Thank you, Umi.
Looks like a few more folks have joined us. Thanks.
Yes, hi. Welcome.
Hi. We're here this morning to make space for grounding for ourselves and for the community. And I will be offering my daily tip today. Actually have my cheat sheet, which I will read to you. Daily tip number 43. Make a cup of tea. Think of someone who's generous to you. Honor them and drink tea. So I'm going to perform the daily tip. Temperature is perfect, 189.
Oh.
a little clumsy this morning.
No, I was actually really enjoying the ritual of your hands, like the movement of your hands as you are doing this. It's really quite extraordinary.
So if I were doing this IRL, I would offer this to everybody at the table. Essentially, it's a way to smell the tea, the
Mm,
fragrance of the tea,
mm,
and to basically bring the tea into the body before drinking it. So it's this nice moment of gathering. So I would
yeah.
offer this to everybody here.
Hmm.
And
I
I
certainly
would
do that.
and I would invite you all to do the same thing with your cup of tea. Okay. Looks like tea is ready. And I'm going to pour it into my cup. Serve. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So, Kat, I don't know if you want to share some thoughts about what we've done so far.
Sure. So, I think the idea is to think about how we can, have tools to support us during uncertain times. And, um, we're in a collective unprecedented time, but, many of us have had traumas and uncertain times prior to the current pandemic. And so thinking about what tools and medicines and ancestral knowledge that we have to support us during this time. And so one of the things that was we had a regular practice of in our Metanoia curatorial team was to ground at the beginning of all of our meetings as we came into the space to do very deep work, together. And then it kind of just, spilled over into when we had the various openings, the grounding ritual is a part of that. Um, and it's a part of the zine and is a part of the original Metanoia catalog as well. And for me, grounding is really important to bring me sort of into my body, into my space. It's kind of some of the work that I do in the world is to kind of ground, or people say, "Oh, you feel so grounded," but I don't always feel that way. Trust me. And part of that is just having tools and to give people permission, I think, to have methodologies, to have tools to help them, to help themselves and others in this time. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of information that is happening around us. There are people that we know who are ill. People might be afraid of becoming ill themselves or another person that they love or care about becoming ill, and these are natural things. And to be present to whatever arises, because sometimes we suppress fear, or we suppress an anxiety, or we suppress a thing that is coming up. And, or I don't want to feel happy because there's so much sadness, there's so much grief. How dare I be okay in this moment, right? That all of those things can show up. And so the idea of grounding is to be okay with whatever shows up, knowing that it could change in another moment, right? And it's something that we have that we can always come back to where things feel out of our control and uncertain. There's always a center point to come back to. And that may be a really useful tool as we move ahead, because there is so many things that are uncertain, and human beings need certainty. We need control. But we can relax and understand our need for control through methods and release and break up some of that energy as well.
Thanks so much for sharing.
Yeah.
I think I really do resonate with what you just said. And similarly, I offer for myself a daily tip. And I've been doing this on Instagram for those of you who have been following. Every morning, I think of a mindful exercise to do, oftentimes something very basic and accessible. And the purpose is to find a moment in that busy, sort of chattering mind that I have, to find a kernel of personal and embodied truth, just as an anchor for myself throughout the day. So something I can kind of return to.
Mm-hmm.
It's that space that you were talking about, Kat. Like, this is the grounding
yes.
space that you can return to it. And so, you know, some tips are sort of imaginative, like having a conversation with a bird.
Mm-hmm.
And other tips are like very like pragmatic in the sense that they're just the kind of things that, you know, my mom would share with me. Make a soup with goji berries and jujube, some brown sugar, and that'll warm up your body and help you fight the yin energy that is what is causing a lot of the respiratory issues right now for people around the world. So just really kind of leaning into that notion of like care tips are daily and that are shareable, that we offer to each other. And this is something I've been experiencing a lot in my circle, in this sort of this like transnational diasporic infrastructure of care in this moment. So I decided to do one live today and to offer it to the community.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much.